Well, hey, howdy, and welcome to Camp Wound Dog Workshop. Here's something you might find to be interesting. You know, on my 316T project and the 316TY, the Ale version, I've told everybody I'm only going to do a limited number. I'm only building 60 of them combined. They've all been spoken for. I have 5 more to finish off. But in the process of this whole project, I've accumulated a lot of donor parts. I have a lot of CQ fonts that just weren't good enough to use. Some of them, the bottoms were all rusted out. Some of them, the tops had dents that could not be salvaged. So what I'm doing on a couple of one-off customs in my Big Dog series, I'm using parts to build an extended font, a telescopic font. What I'll do is I'll find a good bottom, and I cut the nasty top off. And I'll find a good top, and I'll cut the nasty bottom off. And these guys will telescope over each other like that. What I do, and this requires a lot of careful measuring. After I measure it up, can you see that line? That's the scribe line of where the bottom of the donor top is supposed to fit. So let me show you how that works. Get that on there and get this guy all squared away and bring it down and make sure that the bottom of this one is right on the scribe line. Okay? Then what I'll do is I take a filler tube, and this isn't, the filler tube is actually the second stage in this, but I use it as almost like a clamp between the two halves. I put that guy in there, and I put a knurled washer on it. See that guy? And I spin it down. Hang on. See, I'll spin it down, and then once it's tight, I give it about 4 more cranks. And what that does is it compresses the two parts together, and I get a real tight fit along the seam. Then I'll silver solder it together. See, I'm not on the line there, but when I silver solder at the bottom of this and the top of that, the line has to match up. When I tighten this down, it'll tighten it enough so that line disappears. It compresses into it. And I silver solder it. Now, whenever you use heat, it expands the metal, so it's a little tricky. So what I do, I'll silver solder a spot here, and I'll turn around real quick and silver solder another spot there till the thing is anchored. Then I do one here and then one on that side, and I've got the whole thing stabilized. Then I'll go around, do the whole thing. The silver solder is a brass alloy, so when it's in, I can buff and grind it down so this will all look like one piece. These extended bigger fonts I use on my Big Dog lanterns. But number 50 of my series of 316Ts, all along I've been telling everybody they're different enough so you can tell that they're not original. But number 50 I'm building for my son Jesse as a gift, and it will be indistinguishable from an original with the exception of Camp Wounded Dog badging. And one of the big differences between mine and originals is mine have a lower font, but I'm going to use this technique to make my font the exact same size as an original. So Jesse's going to get one that's exactly like an original, except it's going to be badged Camp Wounded Dog Workshop. That's going to be my little present to my 36-year-old son, and see if I can get him interested in lanterns. Anyway, so that's where we're at. It's a good way to use up parts. I don't want to throw anything away. You got a lot of good tops with lousy bottoms, a lot of lousy bottoms with good tops, so I can cut them apart and silver solder them together. It's kind of time consuming, but it's fun to do. All right, that's it. Thanks for stopping by Camp Boondog Workshop, y'all. Have a good weekend. Bye.